If it says 30, I go 40. Don't turn on red. I turn on. I'm a kind of a guy. I've been rebellious since I was a kid, and I will always never listen to authorities, man. If I can get by with it, I fucking get by with it. It's in me. It's never going out of me. I'm almost 60 years old. It's not going anywhere, dude. I'm always going to be defiant.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Veil. My name is Alan, joined here with the Bones. How you
Billy
doing,
Bones? What's happening, man?
Same old, same
We're
old.
still alive, still alive.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on again. I'm really glad we're able to do this show. This show is like really, it's dear to my heart, and thank you all for joining us. We love you so much, and to those that are our, I don't know, what would we call them, our faithful followers. We love you.
Yes.
All the new
Our friends, our family.
too.
Our family. They're pulled to us.
Yes. You know, it's
they
funny.
Came all the way from galaxies, different galaxies and planets to be here with us today.
Right.
Actually, the fourth dimension, the fourth time, I guess it would be. That's where we're at in time here and now. And it's 3D and add the 4D. So here you are. Here we are.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So today we wanted to talk about, we try to structure it a little bit, but then it just kind of does its own thing. So
we'll see how that plays out.
We give it our best effort. We do see where it goes. So we want to talk about something like 2020 in hindsight. You know, what we learned in 2020, the lessons that we took away, what we learned about ourselves individually and collectively, and what to expect moving forward in 2021 is kind of the basis of what we wanted to talk about. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, right.
Man, 2020. It's 2021 now. 2021.
I know.
2020 went by so fast for me. I can't even tell you.
That was a strange year. Very strange.
Very strange. Very strange.
The apocalyptic year. If apocalypse means revelation, right? I believe that's what it means. I think that's what they said.
Apocalypse is the revealing.
The revealing, yes. Yeah. So I would say that out of any year ever, there's been more revealed. I mean, I think you could see, almost like the curtain got pulled back from Oz. You can see that there's somebody controlling shit. It's not us. It's not us. And it's not our bosses, and it's not their bosses, and it's not their bosses. There's somebody way up there, just a couple of individuals is controlling everything, or you would see a different narrative. Everywhere you go, everybody's in agreement across the globe. So there's no resistance to it. To me, that's a revelation. I always thought we had certain actors or singers or news stations or news reporters or truth tellers or black web or somebody, the dark web, that would, I don't know, say something different, but everybody seems to be going down this same, it's like everybody's just being pushed. It's a herd of people being pushed, and you're just being pushed with it unless you can get yourself out of this. And it's all right here. It's all right here. That's where it starts. But unless you get out of it, man, God only knows where they're herding us off to, probably off the edge of a cliff, I would imagine. I mean, how else can they get everything we own? I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what they're probably after. So, of course, that's just me. I don't, I know that it's probably not that cynical, maybe, but maybe it is. It does feel that way at times. It feels that, and I know that a lot of it is, you yourself. If you're plugged in really hard to it, then you sort of have yourself to blame. You kind of have to be more self-reliant and think ahead and not get yourself strung out, so bad. So I think the revealing of that, I think a lot of people kind of realized that they were living too much into the future, money they didn't have. A lot of people, realized that they just think they can run down to Walmart and get their shit, get, toilet paper, get whatever. and they realize, no, you can't sometimes just run down there and get it. Sometimes it's not there, might not be there for 2 or 3 weeks. They're like, holy shit, I didn't know that could happen. I didn't know that people could still evict you when your whole entire country's under this, what you call a whatever, we won't use the word. And a lot of people are starting to realize, and then you see that the billionaires are getting extremely rich. Some of them double, triple, quadruple their wealth, their net worth, and all of us are suffering. So people are going to have to we're going to have to join forces, man. We're going to have to quit this division shit. We're going to have to quit this going in different directions and having different perceptions of everything. And we have to get back to a collective, everybody just focus on one thing, and that is us, we, and not division, you know what I mean? Not them, and us, but all of us and we. And it looks like I don't want to say it looks impossible, but man, God, there's a lot against us. There's a lot against us because, like I was telling you earlier, it seems like all of our information comes just a few sources, and it's all the same narrative. It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing, so it's hard not to have your brain go in that direction, I'll let you talk.
There is other information out there, but it is difficult to
gotta look.
Yeah,
find
and most people don't put the effort into it unless they start to question the mainstream narrative, and that's really where your awakening begins, is questioning everything. When you start questioning things, because if you look at it and do any bit of research into what's going on right now, none of it makes sense. And it's really easy to find that information if you look for it. They have to tell you the truth and the lie at the same time. So they're gonna keep pushing the lie, but the truth has to be out there, because it's up to you and your discernment to find it. They're just gonna pump what they want you to see on the mainstream, on every screen. Like we were saying, we all live in front of a screen, whether it be your phone, your TV, your tablet. We all have a lot of screen time in our lives, and it's all on how you use that screen time. Do you use that screen time to learn, to educate yourself, to better yourself as a person, or do you just use it for strictly entertainment and just go and like a lot of people watch the news all the time? Like when I'm at the gym, there's the news. The news is on 3 TVs in front of the treadmills, and then there's sports, and then there's another news station. It's like
you have to unplug even from music, even from the radio. It's like you can't even listen to the radio. It's just they keep saying these words, the face thing and the deal that's going on, the words. I'm not going to say it, but they continue. That's all I hear. I was thinking about just sitting there calculating how many times. I mean, every time I turn away, I got to turn the radio off. As soon as I hear them, and it's within minutes, they're talking about it again, talking about it again, talking about it again. It's like, we all know what's going on. Why do you keep saying these same words? They're pumping these words. There are certain words that have this. It's an effect. It's an effect on you, man.
It's programming you.
Control.
It's programming you. That the biggest thing when we talk about unplugging is reprogramming your mind, reprogramming how you think, because you are thinking how we're told to think through school, through your parents, through everything, through all the education systems that exist. When you get a job, they tell you how to work and how to think and how to do what they want you to do. And
it's all that. And it's all a matter of where you come from in your perception. Remember me, I told you I had this little board thing. I'm going to show you this. But let me put this up here. I think you can see it. But I just want to talk about perception just for a second, how we can all have a different perception, and how this here I'll show you. Anyway, let's say we're doing a remodel on a house. This is, to me, the perfect analogy. And we're all going in. There's different guys here. I don't know if you can see that, but you got electricians, plumbers, drywall guys, insulation, the whole bit, painters. And so each guy comes in, the the electrician comes in, he says, oh yeah, we need a GFI, we need 220 over here, we need this and that. The plumber comes in, he's like, yeah, we need shut off valves, we need, to get up to code, we need schedule 40. Painters, I can't get anything done until the electrician and the insulation and these guys. So then all these guys have this different perception. None of them can see what the other one sees. They walk into the same exact room, but each guy is seeing something totally different. This guy is seeing the wiring, this guy's seeing the plumbing, this guy's seeing the painting, this guy's seeing the trim work, this guy's seeing the drywall work. Landscapers are seeing that. That's all of us. It's the same fucking building, right? But we're all seeing everything completely different because the way we was raised, what we've learned, the information that we know. So seeing the forest for the trees, you know what I mean? It's almost impossible because your perception is so limited. You're an electrician, or you're a plumber, or you're white, or you're black, or you're Hispanic, Protestant, Catholic, all these things that create this ego, this person, this individual who's so now little because they've boxed themselves into all these little ting, and they're not as great as they can be. They don't realize they can be that way. I guess where I'm going with this is like, if you can understand that your perception is limited, if you can understand that you don't know what you think you only know this much of what you think there's so much more. If you can just open yourself up to that, and if you can understand that all the shit that you're believing, all the shit you're thinking, all this shit that you're hearing, all the stuff, if you just start, like you said, skepticism, see it as a lie, look at these people as actors, you'll start to see through it. As you start to see through it, there a freedom will come to you because you can breathe, man. You're like, oh, I see what they're doing now. Because it's so plain. It's so plain. Then you start to take care of yourself. You start thinking, okay, I need food, I need water, I need ammo, I need this, I need a plan. I just need to look out for me if anything's to ever go down where I'm not dependent on them. I'm growing my own corn. I'm back to doing things like I was supposed to be doing, taking care of myself, becoming self-sufficient, not believing what they're telling me, but just what do I need? You know what I mean? Let me think for myself. Don't let me, I'm not going to listen to these guys no more telling me it's okay. And I'm just going to take care of myself. And once you start to get that way where you quit spending money on credit cards, money you don't have, just gather up the things that you do need, downsize, get yourself to where, you can manage your life, man. And you can just like relax a little bit. You know that if something was to go down, you can sit in this place for 3 months and be okay or whatever, but whatever's going to give you that peace of mind. Because right now people are strung out. People are like just hanging on to, well, what are they going to say tomorrow? I wonder if it's all going to crumble tomorrow, because everything they got is hinged on believing what's going to happen, what these guys are telling them is going to happen, instead of just taking their shit in their own hand, which I know that it's almost impossible for some people to do what I'm saying. Like they're already fucked up and already spending their credit cards and maxed out, and they're like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I realize it's easier said than done, but you just have to realize that you're not seeing the forest for the trees. So,
well, all of that is mindset. And I love that analogy, how we only identify and see through that narrow path that we self-identify with. That I am a carpenter, I am a plumber, I am a salesperson, I do this, and that's how we create our identity. But that's I am a salesperson, but that's not who I am here.
You're a human.
I'm a human. I'm a spark of divinity, and I'm living this human experience along with everybody else. And I thoroughly believe that we create our own realities to an extent. And we were talking about this a little earlier, but we create our own realities. So we create our own bubbles, and we can create our own abundance and our own whatever. You can manifest whatever lifestyle that you want. You don't have to go into one category or the other. You can have them all if you can figure it out. And that's what I'm learning and working towards. I want to have it all. You know what I mean? I am abundant. I want more abundance. I want to not
Right.
ever have to worry about money. I want to be able to travel wherever I want to travel, no matter what's going on. You know what I mean? None of
Right.
that stuff's gonna stop me or hinder me from doing and living my dream. Like this is my
Yeah.
dream. I had a vision a long time ago that I wanted to help other people, and that's what I'm gonna do, regardless of what happens. But I realized that helping other people hasn't provided me the income to live the life that I needed to live, right? To have
Right.
any basic anything. So I went through a lot of shifts with that, where I was trying to get the helping people lifestyle to pay me to afford me the ability to live the life that I wanted, or any kind of life at all. And when I let go of that and just went back to work, and it was funny how everything just kind of integrated back, that
Yeah.
I like everything has changed. So like when I stepped away and went back and worked, and I'm working more than ever before now, but I'm also creating my reality. So like I'm all about that balanced, being a balanced human being as best as I can at all times,
Yeah.
being able to reset at any given time. But that is achievable. You know what I mean? You don't have to narrow yourself to one category, to one box, to one belief, as we get
Right.
rooted in these belief systems. And it doesn't have to be religious or spiritual, whatever belief system it is. If you are a carpenter, you believe you are only a carpenter, and then some other thing. You know what I mean? Like we
Right.
identify with it so much, and you don't have to. You can expand your box. You can learn something new anytime. Like I'm
Well,
learning
the
a
main
lot of
thing,
things all the time
yeah.
because I want new information. I want to better myself. I want to learn, how I can best serve other people, and also have all the abundance that I want and deserve in my life. You know what I mean? So that's my
Yes.
mindset, which is very different from someone that's constantly watching the news,
Yeah.
then worrying about the fear, and they're not conscious of the food that they're eating, and it's full of preservatives and things that are actually
Right.
lessening their lifespan. Like there's so many facets of life that the unaware person is just unaware. We don't know what we don't know, and
Right.
that's that's a once you realize you don't know what you don't know, and then you can start to learn things. There was something,
Right.
I wanted to go somewhere with that, but I lost it.
Right. 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 And I was just wanting to say one thing, how we're all working on like on the same house. Everybody has perspective. Everybody comes in, they're all doing really, their goal is the same thing. The end goal is because, this general contractor or the superintendent, he has the scope. He has he's the guy that's choreographing everything, but the money comes from the bank. So everybody has to do exactly what they're told. And of course, you like I say, you got the general contractor, the main company, then you have the superintendent who's on site. These are the guys telling everybody, but they're not the ones making the decision. Where the money is, the bank. And these are the people who always make the decisions, is the bank, right? So that's what we're all sort of, so I don't know, like dependent on that, right?
Mm.
And I'm kind of like you. I just lost my train of thought. But
Yeah.
my point, I think where I was going is like we all have to mind. We all have to do what the superintendent. If we want the bank to release what, so like how do you get interdependent? How do you like become sovereign? How do you not be such like so dependent on that bank, so dependent on what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's something that for me, that's where I'm at. I'm like, and I've been really blessed that uh, I'm just living a lifestyle that it's easy for me to unplug. My house has already been paid for. I've already done it twice, and I won't take another mortgage unless something crazy happens. But I already learned that lesson. I paid so much money the second time around, especially, and all my vehicles, they're junk, but yeah, they're paid for. I don't know, so I've been lucky, but a lot of people aren't. But you've got to get to where you can just maintain what you've got now until we know what's going on. And I ain't coming from a fear place. I'm coming from a place where you can relax. I know a lot of people who are nervous wreck right now. All my friends
Oh,
and
yeah.
people, uh, you know, my sister, she's working all the hours she can. She's a factory girl, and they laid off during this deal for a minute for 2 or 3 months or whatever. So she panicked, and she's one of these people that has to pay her rent. She freaks out over that, and you know, she's like paranoid. So she's working all the, you know. And then I know other people who are doing the same thing. You know, their mortgages, and it's like, damn, man, I'm just so glad that I'm not. And I wish that I could somehow give somebody advice and just say,
Mhm.
if you can get your shit paid off, live in a smaller house, do whatever it takes to just so you can sleep at night, because it's a nervous wreck right now for a
Mhm.
lot of people, man. I was looking at videos this morning just briefly. I don't know how I got into it, but it was Ruby Tuesdays was closed over here in Anderson, and the guy did that. And one thing led to another. It showed this tent city, and then started showing California, LA, like right now, currently, which I
Mhm.
watched in about 3 or 4 minutes. Is the most. It just turns your stomach. It's just like, oh my God, it's the most horrible thing. All these homeless people. I mean, it's sad. It's sad, man.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
dude, I saw that when
God,
I
I
was up
wish I
there.
could help anybody. I just, I don't know what to say or do. But
You
and
know,
one of the things I wanted to say though is, in a lot of the reason that these people got in that position is because of, I think, being dependent on the phone and the TV and
mhm.
not themselves, and thinking that they can, just click on something and fix everything tomorrow. And this whole situation has created it's like vacuum, where it's really not like that. Nobody knows what to do. Everybody's looking at everybody. There's some people who have rooms and nests to gather up, and for their nest, and there's some people who's supposed to spend it next year. Rooms from 20 years from now. That they've already spent up the first 10 or 15 years of their rooms. So there's a
Mhm.
lot of a lot of different ends of this. But
Mhm.
I think what I was trying to say when I was kind of interrupted was that just the point that you were making is about the phone is this is really what we're so dependent on. It's like we are really, really, really dependent for information or anything else, whether it has to do with weather, stocks, everything, what your bank account balance. We have to have this thing, man, and the TV. And it's like, if that's not a control, if anybody who's a genius and a control freak doesn't, and Bridge doesn't know how to control us with these two mechanisms, I mean, you know what I mean? So we have to be extremely careful when we watch, extremely careful the vigilance we get in, extremely careful when we believe.
Yes. And I'll tell you, when I was traveling last year, well, in 2019, there was a period of about a month that I didn't have a phone. I couldn't afford to pay my phone bill anymore, and my phone got shut off. Um,
I remember that. I remember.
yeah, and yeah, I
It
could
was where
only
you went to
talk.
Florida, I think.
I was in North Carolina. I was in North
Yeah.
Carolina. Yeah, I was down there with them in the mountains. Um, and that I couldn't imagine a better time to have lost that connection
Right.
with the phone,
Yeah.
right? Because then that
And
connection with people
wasn't you
around you,
relieved?
connection with the forest, with nature, with everything else, without the distraction of the phone was just
Yeah. Didn't you feel
beautiful.
such a relief of
It
just,
was. It was like I
you don't
freaked
have
out
to
at
check
first.
it?
I was
Yeah.
panicking because like, I can't talk to anybody. And then I was like, well, who do I
Right.
talk to? I don't talk to
Right.
anybody. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not that big of a deal. And I just let go.
Yeah.
And I just
That's
really
how it used to be
enjoyed.
back in my day.
Yeah, I just enjoyed my experience. It was a great
Yeah.
several weeks. And then I had internet access if I walked to a certain part of the hill, so I could, communicate with the outside world if I wanted to or needed
Yeah.
to. But really, for the most part, I didn't.
Yeah.
Other than making like a YouTube video, I would make a video and then go to the hotspot to upload it to YouTube. But that was about it, and it was awesome, man.
Man, that was a
But
magical time, bro. I remember that
then
time.
it also depends, like if you're living that lifestyle out in the woods, like they are, you know what I mean? Where they're off grid 100%. Like
Yeah.
they don't get any of that. They're set up down there, which is
Yeah.
pretty awesome. I really want to go back there. Probably will.
Jessica just left there.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I know. But like if you're living in this world, in this modern world, you don't need your phone, but it can help with a lot of things. Like the only thing I use my phone for is to look things up. You know what I mean? Like I use it to
Yeah.
call, text people, stay in contact with whoever I want to stay in contact with, and to acquire new information and check my bank account balance, all the things you were saying. Like, yeah, we really
Yeah.
rely on this, but I'm also very aware of how to survive and thrive without it. You know what I mean? Like, I know
Right.
I can go to the bank. I know where to get cash and hold cash. And I know, you know what I mean? Like,
Right. Right.
I'm not dependent on it. It's all on how you use it, because there's a lot of people that are addicted to these technologies, to these social medias, and that's how it was designed to. It was designed to be that hit of dopamine every time you got a like, you know. So
Mhm.
I don't buy into that. Like that doesn't like I want you to like my stuff for the purposes of like I want more people to get access to this information, to what we talk about, you know what I mean? But that's
Right.
about the extent of it. Like I'm not looking for fame or glory or whatever when I make a post, or when I ask you to follow my social media. Like I'm just doing that so we can all stay in touch for the most part, and that, you know, it's growing my brand, and my brand is helping people. So that is, yeah, I want it, but it's not like I don't get that hit of dopamine when you like something. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and I feel like even my kids are super addicted to the phones and the devices and the games and
Everybody
everything.
is.
And
Everybody is.
it's so bad. It really is.
Yeah.
Like I truly feel if I took all the devices away from my kids for a week, they would like within 2 or 3 days, they would really start losing their shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I had to
That's
go
what
through
my
that
son,
detox period.
my middle son, he's your age. You're 38, ain't you? How old are you?
Uh, I'll be 36 in 2 weeks.
Okay, you're my youngest boy's age. Okay. Um, my middle boy though, he's the athletic outdoors, and all of his kids, they're fishing, hunting freaks. I mean, they Bentley, he's the youngest. He's 10 or 11 now, but ever since he was 9, he could shoot a 9 millimeter. He could shoot a 12 gauge. He could shoot anything, load them, lock them, and shoot them. They've all, they're like that. And I thought they were, and I had talked to him when the shit went down. I was talking about going to the hills. It's like, man, we need to get out of the city, whatever. He was like you. He said, if I took my kids away, if they couldn't get on their tablet, he said 2 days they'd fucking go. I said, you got to be kidding, because his kids have been the most outdoorsy, like
Mhm.
just crazy about outdoors, riding bikes, trampoline. They're athletic. And I was like, no way, no way. He said, no, Dad, seriously. He's like, they are freaking addicted to this shit. My youngest, Bentley, now he plays that Fortnite or whatever, and he's got headphones. He's talking to people all across the country, and they stay up to all night. I'm like, man,
Yeah,
you need to
you
get
know,
them off of this shit.
it's a balance, because they we're growing up in this world of technology.
Yeah,
So they're going to be more adept to using it than we are. I
yeah,
still struggle with it a lot because I'm not familiar with the ins and out of it. Like my brother knows it really well, but I don't.
um,
My kids know it really well because since they were born, they've had a phone in their hands watching
yeah.
YouTube. So they learned how to navigate and use all the different apps and programs
Oh,
on the phone before they
yeah,
still can't read yet, and they know how they're fluent in iPhone technology. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
crazy. But there's a balance to that, because that's how they're gonna grow up, and that's gonna be a needed skill in their generation moving forward,
Right,
I think.
right.
So it's a balance. Yes, they need to know it, and they're growing up with it. So like when I grew up, there weren't even computers. So it's like they're growing
Yeah,
up with,
it'll be the future. Yeah,
yeah.
but
So it's like
but
that balance. Yeah. And I think, but from what you were explaining, they're outdoorsy, they're athletic, they have a good balance. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're
yeah,
probably addicted to it, but it probably they could get over it within a couple of days. You know what I mean? Take them
yeah,
camping a week, and once they realize and go through those mental stages of addiction, of
yeah.
detox, then it'll be over. But um I don't think it's a bad thing, and I struggle with that a lot too with my own kids. Like I
Yeah.
want to take it away, but at the same time, I want them to know it and have it. But I want to use it as a reward system, not just unlimited screen time.
Oh man.
You do
Yeah,
what
you gotta limit. You gotta limit that shit.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So that's a balance that I strive for with that. But yeah, and then I mean, who knows what
Because
these
them
kids
kids will stay on that. They'll stay on that shit all day.
I mean,
Them kids will stay on it.
imagine what's happened in the last 10 years of technology. I mean, when did the cell phones come out? They came out in like the 90s, didn't they? Like with the
Yeah, I
cell
think so.
phone.
Like the junky ones. I got
Yeah,
one. I still got it too. It's a great big giant. Flips out. It's got an antenna on it. I still got that dude.
all
That
right.
was in
So
the '90s.
that was 20 some years ago. Look how
Yeah,
much we've come in 20 years. I remember when
yeah,
I first started getting into phones, the first smartphone came out, and it was really a Palm Pilot.
yeah.
That was the first Palm Pilot that had calling and texting capabilities. And that's when I started getting into phones when I was out of college. So I was in my 20s. So in the last 15 years, we can do anything. Like we can reach anybody in the world with a supercomputer that we have in our pockets. Like
Yeah.
that's a massive step forward. So imagine 15 years, in another 15 years, what that step's going to look like. We can't even think of what it's going to look like right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So
Now imagine this though. Imagine in your house. This is how it used to be in my day. You had one phone. It was in there, and there was no call waiting. There was none of that shit. You just had one phone. Somebody was on it. It was busy. Anyway, nobody ever called anybody. You just didn't. And when that phone rang, everybody in the family would just stop and look at each other. I got it again. They would run. Everybody would run and fight and elbow each other to get hello, just to see who was just. It was the most exciting thing ever to see who was calling her in our house. It's somebody from a faraway land. Grandma, oh, it's grandma. You know what I mean?
uh,
But it was
yeah,
like so exciting just to hear that phone ring, man.
that's funny.
It is.
That's funny. And now when the phone rings, you're like, who the hell is this?
I know. I know.
I ain't know. No.
Yep. Yeah, I know it. As soon as you hear, you're like, damn, I told you to text me.
Yeah, right.
Text me. Don't call. It's crazy, isn't it?
I don't really talk to many people on the phone unless I'm at work. I'll texting. All my conversations are texting because it's like
Yeah.
it's so much less energy, and you can think about what you want to say, and you can have a conversation pretty
Yeah.
fluidly through text message. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. And I'm the same way. I'm like, if someone's calling me and I'm not expecting a phone call, I'm like, no. But
Yeah.
it's funny.
Like talking on the phone is more like reading the novel, and then the texting is like cliff notes. You know what I mean? It's just,
I
real
like
quick,
that.
get to the
Yeah,
point. You know what I mean? Say what you got to say. Bread, eggs, and milk. That's it.
yeah. It cuts the fluff out.
OMW.
Straight to the point.
Yeah. OMW. Here I come. So, yep.
Oh my god.
How long
All
have we
right.
been on?
So, a little sidetrack there. So, lessons learned in 2020. I think we saw a lot of fear. And
Control.
the one thing I really wanted to talk about was something that we talked about before we started the show, because we started talking before we started recording like dummies. But sovereignty.
Right.
Like, now that we're in this state of where we're at in the world, I think that if you're a sovereign being, like you just stand out like a sore thumb. I think that's what we were talking about.
Yeah. Right.
Like if you're not following the main narrative, then you are the minority.
Man.
That's what it seems.
By far.
Yeah. And I don't know how I feel about it.
It's actually scary because it's like the minority of people who are like not wearing their mask and just saying, hey, you know what? I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't even know. I would say 5%. It's like every 100 people I see, there might be 2 or 3 people that are daring to stand their ground.
Mhm.
So, and even the way I think, I look at them and I have to tell myself, that's cool. You know what I mean? But at first I'm like, hey man, where's your mask? And I'm like, what am I thinking that for? You know what I mean? I got my shit pulled down. You know what I mean? It's almost like we're on the same team. It's like, what up, brother? You know what I mean? But you're so like kind of caught up in it because you just see it, hear it, see it. It's like they just poured on you and poured on you and poured on you. It's almost impossible to have a freedom of mind, a freedom of thought, and just to be free and just to dare to be free. Take your chances, live on the wild side, take your mask off. I wanted to make videos. I wanted to go around. I don't know if YouTube has let me do this or not, but go around in stores and have people take their mask off and smile and give peace signs and just make like hundreds of people take their mask off and smile. Just put it on YouTube. People taking their mask off and smiling in the store.
You know what?
The government is smiling, putting it back on. I don't know if YouTube would even let you do it.
I don't know. You probably would not get out there. Who knows? I mean, you probably put it on social media and get some.
It'd be something worth trying.
That would be something like you could go up to people and be like, look, man, I haven't seen someone smile in like 8 months. Can you just show me a smile and can I take a picture? Like, I bet you probably get a good response of people that do that. You know, there's a lot.
There might be some people who think you're trying to trick them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's going to get me arrested.
Probably. I don't know. Is it required to wear them now? I keep seeing signs that says required now.
It says required, but Kim works in retail, and they tell her you're not going to enforce it. If people come in without a mask, you just let it be. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I've had it both ways. I've had it like because I don't wear it. Like if I do, it's just pulled down so it looks like I'm wearing it. But
right.
No one said anything anymore. Like when it first started, people used to always say, like, you need to cover your face, you need to do that. And I would just smile at them and keep walking.
Yeah, right.
Anything at all. Like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And just smile, because that power of that smile is crazy. Especially now, like when you realize you haven't seen someone smile in public for almost a year. That's depressing. That's depressing as fuck.
I know.
And I can't, like, I don't get to see people's faces at work, and it drives me nuts. I can't. I mean, I can still read you pretty well, but facial expressions give you so much information,
especially in sales.
Yeah, especially in sales. All I can see is the eyes and an eyebrow. Most people are wearing hats with things, so you get like this much space that you can see. Like, am I going to be robbed? Or are you coming here to buy something? Like, I don't understand what's going on. But,
exactly.
So the people, and there's people that come in with no mask on, and like you could tell, like the people that really aren't worried about them come in and then realize, like, oh shit, I'm not wearing one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I do that all the time. I walk into a store and then I'm like, fuck. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I forgot. And usually it's all right, but then sometimes they're like, well, the health department's cracking down. They're coming by and checking this and that and this.
It amazes me at how, like, without any oversight, how obedient everybody is. It seems to me that, like, in stores, even smaller stores, it's like they're scared to take that chance and just go ahead and just say, throw caution to the wind. I'm not going to do it. We went to a restaurant here. It was about a month or two ago, and not one of the waitresses, managers, nobody had a mask. I ain't gonna say the name of the town. It's a little teeny town, and I was I felt so. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was just like, here's America. This is what freedom. This is America, dude. This is what the flag represents right here. Americans doing what Americans do when they want to, how they want, deciding for themselves, And I don't know. That's like you was talking about sovereignty itself. It all starts with your own, and it starts. Like I tell you, man. If it says 30, I go 40. Don't turn on red. I turn on. I'm a kind of a guy. I've been rebellious since I was a kid, and I will always never listen to authorities, man. If I can get by with it, I fucking get by with it. It's in me. It's never going out of me. I'm almost 60 years old. It's not going anywhere, dude. I'm always going to be defiant. I don't do it like where I'm going to get myself caught up because I care about my freedom, because I've been locked up and I've pushed the envelope and I've drove fast and hard and I've been out in 8 lanes, and I know what it's like. And and they do lock you up, you know. So, I know where to push my boundaries. It's just like that little brat in the store, and he knows when his mom's getting ready to really let him have it. Then he finally shuts the hell up, and then he'll start back in again. And she knows, that's me. I will push my shit, man. But that's part of being free to me. I just have always been like that. I've always, in my own mind, it's like, you don't fucking tell me who the fuck are you, dude. I'll take your suit, your old lady, your money. I'll take your car. You don't tell me what to do. I'll tell you what to do. If we're going to go there, then I'm taking your shit and telling you what to do. Other than that, let's leave each other alone. You don't tell me what to do,
Yeah.
But that's the way I think. I'm kind of fucking crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm
I
the
just
same
don't feel
way.
like I need to be
I'm not gonna let someone just scream at me and disrespect me. You know what I mean? Like that's my limit. I carry myself in such a way that where I'm very peaceful, loving, calm.
Right.
Even when people are freaking out, I can relate
Yeah.
or figure a way to diffuse the situation. I'm pretty good at that.
I'm talking about being governed. I'm talking about being governed, like just
Well,
needing cops or lawyers or any judges or anybody tell me how to live.
no,
If there was no laws on this planet, if there was not a law at all, I would not be murdering people. I would not be raping kids. I would not be raping women. I would not be taking people's stuff. You know what I mean?
you're still gonna
The
be an
laws that
integrity. Yeah,
yeah, I know what's right and wrong. Now going
right,
40 and a 30, that's my decision.
right,
Oh, seatbelt, that's my decision.
right.
Mask, that's my decision. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Now raping, and that's common knowledge. That's humanity.
And
People
that
know, that
and
not
that's
to do
going
this.
away more too. That's low vibration stuff. Like all that
Right.
stuff is, I mean, everybody's got free will and they can choose to do that if they want. But like, I don't know. I just feel like those things are lessening and lessening. I could be wrong. You know what I mean? I do live in my own little bubble. I don't watch what's going on in the world. So I just know, like in my immediate surroundings and what I've witnessed in my travels and where I've been, like none of that stuff exists. And maybe it's because I don't, that's not part of my reality. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
I do because it is like manifesting. You are creating your reality. So I don't know. I don't know. That's really interesting. But I don't know. I think we're moving very fast to a new future, to a new world, to a new paradigm, and it's being built now, and that's everything that's being exposed, everything that's coming to light is coming to light for a reason because of the amount of light on the planet.
Yeah.
So all these things are being exposed because they're no longer serving. They no longer resonate with the collective energy that we're all at, and the
Yeah.
collective energy is raising pretty quickly, and that's a lot of what this is forcing people into because it's forcing people into to unemployment or to start questioning things that don't make sense. You know what I mean? Like I've
Yeah.
had people in the healthcare industry, we've been talking about this, and they're like confused. They're like, because I'm being told one thing and then I see a different thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And it's starting to cause them to question things. And so I think everyone's having an experience at some point in time, unless you're just fully brainwashed. I'm sorry to say it that way, but fully brainwashed and just buy into everything you hear, then and you're just a gullible person, which is
Yeah.
okay. I was really that way for a lot of my life. I believed almost anything anybody told me for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, what reason would they have to lie to me? And then it's like, well, it might not be a reason they had to lie to you. You just might not know any better. They're just telling you what someone told them. And that, if you trace it back to the source of where the information came from, it's been through so many different people and different things, and it's
Right.
changed and been altered by everybody's different perception and identity and everything like that. That it's who knows where it that information is really originating from, and is it true, is it false, does it have relevance in your life, does it matter, does it, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's so
You
many
need. Yeah.
things
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
question of everything, and
Yeah.
that's where it starts
You got to unplug, man. I'm
yeah,
telling you, you just got to unplug and you got to be defiant. I mean, I don't mean defiant to the point where you're going to go to prison and break laws and
no,
hurt people.
yeah,
I'm
no,
talking about don't listen to these. Fuck these. Ugh, I don't listen to them, man. I just don't. I don't know. There's something about every one of them, the whole entire government, from the president down, uh, they're just it. I've been so lucky to be able to see them for the actors and the con artists and the scam artists that they are. They're all the same. It's the same thing. It's, and it's so funny how all you have to do is put an R in front of somebody's name or a D in front of somebody's name, and this side over here knows ain't fucking shit. They're like, yeah, they're the dudes, and then they believe it. Like the narrative in Seattle, they got that woman or whoever it is that's defunding the police. She put a D in front of her name, so these people they believe, this is a Democrat, left wing, dude. She's an actor. She was put there by somebody to do this shit, to create this image, to create this mindset, to create this. Because it's all a big play. It's all a big choreographed thing. These people aren't separated. There's no two sides. There's one side controlling everything. The other shit is just a fucking game. Put a red hat on this guy, blue hat on this guy, and these people eat it up. If you put a D in front of us, I guarantee you put a D, you could put a turd out there, and you put Democratic Party on it. Half of the fucking country will think this guy, everything he says is solid gold. He's the best guy in the world. He's it. Put an R in front of this guy, same guy. Put a disguise on him, put a mask, whatever you do, whatever. Put him over here, put an R in front of him. These guys over here, he is the fucking salt of the earth. He's the greatest. He is the guy. He's on our side. He's for us. He cares about people. And I'm sitting back watching this shit going, all they did was put a D and an R in front of these people. Put a red hat and a blue hat, dude. You guys don't see that it's a game? I mean, the powers that be aren't the guys that we're watching on TV. Those are fucking puppets, man. The powers that be, you'll never see. You'll never see the powers that be, ever, ever.
No.
And the reason you see everybody, I mean, look at Biden. He's got a mask on. Trump puts a mask on. They all put masks on, right? So they're not the bosses, are they? Everybody minds. Everybody minds. I think 9/11 was a reminder to all them boys. You know what I mean? Who really wears the boots? And the politicians, we all think and everybody puts all their trust into them, thinking they're the guys. Dude, they're puppets. They're people. They have charisma. They have a voice that people can relate to, and people, listen to them because they relate to them, and they have this. They've always had that charisma their whole life. It's like guys like us, guys who know how to talk. People listen, and they've just had people who get behind them and give them some funding. And they've blown up, and they've got some, exposure, and they've just blown the fuck up, and people listen to them, right? They're no different than us, man. They're no different than us. They can be corrupted. They can be, and they are. Once you get filthy rich, man, that's all you think about is money.
Well, I don't fully agree with that, but if they're going and get rich from the way they got rich and the path they take, then yeah, I would agree with that. But I mean, like a big thing in my programming that I had to get over was like money is the root of all evil. Like all rich people are bad and all this, that, and the third. And I really had to get over that because I really believe that. And I don't believe that anymore. I believe it's
I'll create resistance there.
Yeah.
That'll create resistance too, buddy. Yeah.
There's a lot of wealthy people that are doing really good things for the country, for the world, creating products and art or whatever it is that's moving forward in
they're not running shit
with the energy that we're going towards, right? To the world.
No, they're not running things though.
No, but that's all right.
Yeah, those people ain't running shit.
Run things. I mean, politicians don't run things in my reality because I don't know what they're talking about, and really they don't do anything. All they do is talk, and nothing really changes. Like
right,
so, exactly. So I look for people that are actually doing something for the betterment of the world. What are they doing? What are they? What are you bringing to the table? Are you creating something that's helping everybody? Like, and I found so many of them, and I'm beginning to get behind them, and I'm going to start doing like review videos for them. I think that's what I'm going to create my other channel for, just do reviews and do a review of, artwork of, products that I use every day. They're like high vibe stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where it starts. If you can just switch your mindset a little bit, if you can start feeding yourself healthier and just open, I mean, so much opens up. Like it's a full, mind, body, soul, the transformation that we go for. So first it needs to be your mind that really opens up and awakens to what's really going on. And then kind of everything else will follow after that. But I think out of 2020, in my experience, what I learned was that I really integrated and put into practice a lot of things that I learned the previous year. And I think a lot of people are starting to go through what we went through now. You know what I mean? A lot of people
Yeah.
are awakening now, a lot.
Right.
So they're looking for people like us, for people that are in this community that's already gone through it. And when I was going through my awakenings, I always had this feeling that it was happening super fast for a reason. Like it was so quick, and like I had so
Man.
much piled so fast. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it took all of 2020 to unpack that. I'm still unpacking, but that's what's really helped, or what I've learned in 2020 is to integrate those lessons into my life and apply them in every aspect to the best of my ability. And now that's a continuous path, and will continue to unfold that way. But that's my biggest.
I think mine was I think my biggest takeaway from 2020, looking back, hindsight, I would say that that I was too dependent on just everything other than me. It's like I got caught off guard with that toilet paper thing. How everybody went crazy. That was really weird. I could never. It took me a minute to figure that out. I was like, why is the toilet paper? How come the food's here, but the toilet paper's gone? And then it's like, then you couldn't get it, and then just all these different things. Then we couldn't get the food, and then everything was happening. They shut you down, and I was just really realized that I wasn't really as, I guess, sovereign as I thought I was. I wasn't really as prepared to just set this out, or just, I've just been always thinking, and that's what I've always told my kids. And I've always told them, you guys don't know what it's like. You guys think you can just run down here to Walmart, and I've preached this shit for years to my kids. You think you can just run down here, you don't know what tough times are. You don't know how to save and put stuff back. And because that's what my dad taught me, Of course, his dad taught, so, and we got in this generation, this new way of that we're not conservative, and we don't put things back because none of us have lived through depression, and we forget the stories that grandma told us. We didn't even listen half the time. And now here the shit comes down on you, and it's just a glimpse of what it could be. This is just a glimpse of what it could have been, so that makes you have to stop and think that, so that's what I learned. I learned that I need to rethink my whole program over here, and start walking the walk a little more than talking the talk, So that's what I learned.
That's a really good way to say it. That's a really good way to say it. Walking the walk instead of just talking the talk. Because that's like what I felt like I was doing when I started my channel, was just talking. I was talking about everything I learned, and other things I learned that I felt to be true, you know what I mean, that resonated with me, that made sense to me, and I shared that with everybody. And then it was the next year is implementing those things,
Yeah. And I think
walk now, and now it's just growing into something else now.
Yeah.
I like it. So what do you think, or what do you want to do? What do you want this year of 2021 to hold for you? What do you want to bring to the world, to accomplish, or whatever?
Where I'm at with it is, and that's a great question, because haven't we all been forced to reevaluate the future that we've seen, or the future that we had? Like, I watched a show the other day that they were talking about in 2020, the New Year's resolution, when everybody came into 2020. The economy was kicking, shit was going down, people had these high hopes and plans, and that shit changed just 2 or 3 months later. But for me, that's another revelation I had. I never really had that futuristic thought, and then when all this shit went down, now I'm starting to have one. Like, now I'm starting to see this vision, and starting to, I've always had this vision of creating this, like, a smaller community, and having like this school. I don't know. it's a kind of a weird idea, but it's like this community where we have a school, we have, you know, like a metaphysical, like a church of metaphysics, basically. Um, and it's a self-contained, and I don't want to talk about too much, but some of my adventures, which led me to Carolinas, which led me, Mark and April, who we were talking about earlier, which I met other people other than them. So I've got like this half a dozen, they're being pulled to this certain area by all these different beings. We'll call them human. And something's going on with me in my future. I ain't gonna talk about it right now, but I think that something that I've always thought about is coming into this fruition that I gave up on. You know, a long time ago, I had seen things like that, and I sort of gave up on it. And I just thought I'm going to get old and I'm just going to pass away. Then my awakening happened, and I kind of thought about it again, but I didn't really know how to put it together or how it would ever come together. And then the reconnection, this is crazy because the reconnection is what's connected me to all these channels of beings, and we'll call them human, you included. This creating this force, you know, this wave that I'm going, you know, I'm on a different wave than other people, I think. So I'm really confused about what my future brings. I don't know. That's why I'm not on my channel all the time, because I'm not going to fucking front. I'm not going to come on there and act like I know where I'm going, because I don't. Like, I'm kind of confused with it, but I sort of see it. So I don't know where I'm going, bro. I'm going with the flow. I'm kind of just going with it. You know, I have this vision of what could be, and it looks like I'm flowing that way, you know, but I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you can do. Is have that vision.
If I could just say one thing, and we talked about the hindsight thing, I wanted to say one of the other things that I learned, and this is huge, I think, in our community, because that balance of being prepared, because that seems like that's fear. That feels being prepared and putting something back and having ammo and just making sure you're safe and all your doors are locked, and, you know, just different things that you're thinking now because things are different now. Balancing that with, you know, still staying in a high frequency, man, and still knowing that your future is beautiful and perfect, and but you can't sit there and just wishy-washy yourself into oblivion. You still have to be prepared, man. You still have to, like, you know, have something ready if somebody tries to come in your window or something, you know. So, you know, just because you think of that, you prepare for that. How do you find that balance of staying in high frequency, but yet keeping yourself from being a victim to something that you, because we can all sit there and say, hey, I'm creating my reality. I'm this. You can stumble into anything at any time. You know, things happen to good people and people with good intentions all the time. And it's just, you know, how shit happens. It's life. It's a weird thing. But, you know, to me, that was a huge thing for me, is figuring out the balance of preparedness and being ready to get down if shit goes down like that, but not putting that in my forefront of my thought, and living in that vibration, if that makes any sense, you know?
Yeah, I get it. I struggle with that too. Like, how do I, because I was in that prepping, and, you know, I have a lot, I don't want to say a lot, but I have a decent amount of supplies. If anything were to happen, I would be good for a time. You know what I mean? And I just kind of carry those things along with me and put them off to the side in case of a rainy day. You know, in case I don't feel like going to the store, I've used it for that. You know, and I wanted pancakes. I made some pancakes because I got a lot of pancake mix in there. Just that water, you know, like
you got to rotate.
Yeah, and it's a comfort thing for one, but it's not something that's prevalent in my vibration, I don't think. But I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I think if you are thinking and worrying about it, could be a healthy fear, because those are things that could be essential for life. But at the same time, it's also a worry, and like I don't really know if worrying is if that's going to lead to anxiety or create some kind of resistance to the ultimate future goal or whatever life that you want to live. So you said it perfect, I think, is just going with the flow. Just go with the flow. The universe is going to guide you to what you want. If you really want it, whatever your prominent frequency is, whatever you're speaking and thinking, your thoughts and words need to align. You can't, sit here and say, I want to be abundant. And then when you're at the store, you're trying to look for the cheapest thing to buy to save money. Like, that's all
You can't think like that, right.
unbalancing thing. The universe doesn't know what to give you, right? Like, okay, he's abundant and then he's being cheap. Right. Something the other day is very interesting to me that inside of every one of us, there's a wealthy person and a poor person. And it's it made me think of like the awakening, or what the Native Americans say, that we have a dark wolf and a light wolf inside of us, and whatever one you feed most is the one that prevails. It's the same thing. You have a wealthy person and a poor person. Whatever one you feed the most prevails. But even the wealthy people will tell you that they go to the store and look for the cheap shit. Like, it's so interesting how that psychology of that works. But anyways, so aligning your thoughts and your words, speaking your truth, but being authentic about it. You know what I mean? Like they're really getting it to align. So that's programming. You got to program your mind with your thoughts. That's your thoughts, or however it works out for you. That's something I've noticed that's really happened with me. Now, if I say something that is like not in alignment with me, like I don't even finish the sentence and it just tastes bad. You know what I mean? Like if I say something, I can't even think of an example, but if I say something that just, it's just like, I won't even finish saying it. If I start saying it, I'll just stop it. I'm like, nah. Nah. Like my biggest thing is like, today sucked. You know what I mean? Like, I'll say that at work. Like, today's been a shitty day. And then I bring more of that shitty day into my day. Instead of like, no, today's been great. It's been weird circumstances, but overall it's great. I'm alive, I'm here, I'm happy. Life is good.
It's perception, man. It's all about perception.
It is. And I can notice an immediate shift in my mind if something irritates me and I carry that frequency instead of letting it go. And if I keep thinking about it, and I'm going to get more angry and irritated, and just, you're creating that momentum to that outcome or that event or whatever it is. And I've went through a lot of that recently within the past few weeks. December was a lot of crazy energies, especially at work, which is where I spend most of my time. And there's a lot of changes that went on, and I didn't align with them. You know what I mean? Like, I resisted them. I was like pissed off, and I could tell how that ran through the rest of my day. My whole experience was fucked up because of that one thing that I was resisting, and I just kept getting harping on it, thinking about it. And as soon as I let it go, it was just like, fuck it. I know the universe has my back. I know that everything's going to work out for me. And I know that whatever's best for me is going to happen. Like, that's how I think. And I got thrown off kilter a little bit with that. And I could tell a lot. And now in this new energy, like, we're really manifesting things quickly. So, like, quickly. So
very quick.
I don't know how long we've been on. It doesn't tell me on the phone here.
I think it's long enough.
I think it's getting hungry. Yeah, me too. I got shit to do.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. For those that are still here, leave a comment below, like the video. Probably should have started with that. Make sure you like the video, share it. Leave a comment. Please leave a comment. I want to hear from everybody. We're getting more people interacting again, which is good. But I want more people. More.
Yeah.
Leave a comment.
More is good.
More is good. Much more gooder. All right, guys. We love each and every one of you. Be the change that you want to see in this world. And we'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. Let me love people.
Bye-bye. turn it off.
Oh, all right. Time for lunch.